Hello, Virgo, and welcome to Cosmic Brew Tarot. I'm Oscar, and also welcome to my recording space. Very excited to have it back. I used to have it. I had to start this channel when I started this channel back in November. I had to be doing it in my bedroom because this space was not available to me. So I'm glad to have it back, and just that we can uh, so I can provide better videos. The sound quality is amazing on this microphone and on my recording equipment and with my ring light and my camera. This feels good. This feels more in line with me and like the kind of quality I want to be able to put out. So, I'm very excited. Now, for this reading, and it's going to be a 2024 New Year's reading. So we're talking a retrospective of 2023 and everything that we have experienced and learned, and what we're taking into 2024 and how to best move forward to have a better, more productive, more fulfilling year than we did in 2023. And what I've done is I've pulled out 4 cards from the Spellcaster's Oracle to touch on particular specific themes in uh, in your life, which is going to be love, career, prosperity, and new beginnings. So I'm going to be using a combination of the Spellcaster's Oracle. So this is going to be to touch on the themes for 2023 and for 2024. And then we're going to clarify with the Tarot of Dreams. So with that, let's begin our New Year's reading for Virgo. And as a reminder, this is a general reading for the collective sign of Virgo: Sun, Moon, Rising, North Node, lots of Virgo in your chart. So not everything is going to apply to every single Virgo placement. So take what resonates and leave what does not, because you do not need to be taking on energies that you do not need. You're dealing with plenty on your own. So use your intuition and your discernment, or take this opportunity to train intuition and discernment in order to take the nuggets away from this that best relate to you and give you something to think about and to work on in 2024. Let's begin with love. Love in 2023. What has Virgo learned? What has Virgo experienced? What are they moving forward with? Blessings. This is a deep appreciation for what you have in your life. It's a recognition of the many different kinds of love that exist in your life, not just romantic, but familial, friendship, even professional, right? People that appreciate you and that who you also appreciate. Let's go ahead and clarify that with some tarot. Love and blessings in 2023. We have the moon. We have 5 of Swords in reverse. And we have the 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay. And yet, something in this process of love and blessings that we were talking about has not come easy. I think you've been under certain illusions and misunderstandings as to who fits where in your life, and realizing that you can't always get what you want, and what you feel and what you envision for the relationships that you consider to be loving in your life are not reality. You might want something, but you can't force it to exist by your own willpower, by your own desire. And so a lot of stuff has been relegated into this kind of like wishful thinking realm where what we're doing is saying, well, I want this, but at least I have this. It's accepting both the reality of what you have as well as the fantasy of what you would like to see it become. And it's really truly allowing you to loosen up a little bit more and feel your way through the development of these relationships in your life. On a very intuitive level. It's not something that you can force. And anytime that you've tried to force it, the results have been awful. The results upend the fantasy, right? It's almost like the more that you try and force it, the further away you get from your goal, because these are things that you can't force. People have to want to love you in the way that you want them to love you, right? And it's not even something that you can insist on. You can share your needs and desires and wants. You can share, this is my expectation. But them not meeting it doesn't necessarily mean they don't love you, but they are not necessarily loving you in the way that you want them to love you. And you're gonna have to just go from that reality and move forward, because it's very easy to be disappointed by something like this. It's very easy to be frustrated by something like this, where you see the potential of a relationship, of relationships, right? Several of them. You see the potential, um, but you can't obtain it yet. And it's left you in this idea of, well, if it's not reality and I can't shape reality, what does this what do these relationships as they stand, how do they have how do these relationships as they stand have a place in my life? How do they benefit me? And what you've taken away from these questions has been an appreciation and a gratitude for what you do have. You've been able to see these relationships, no matter how well or sour they've gone, as blessings. I would advise that you be careful of over romanticizing those blessings, though, because some relationships are lessons. They bring about lessons, hard lessons, karmic lessons. Um, and in many ways, relationships can't grow until those lessons have been learned. And we're not just talking about, yeah, I know the lesson, it's embodying, making the change, being the change, showing the newer version of yourself that is, I don't want to use this phrasing, so follow me here though. My instinct is to say that you are worthy of the love that you want to receive. You are worthy of the love you want to receive. Okay? On a fundamental level, you are worthy of the love you want to receive. But but receiving receiving love requires you to give back. It requires a reciprocity. And when what you're putting in is not conducive to what you want to receive, then you have to approach it from a new perspective, a new way of being. In other words, for you to get the love that you deserve, you have to adjust. You have to break, it's almost like breaking free of old programming in order to attain a higher level of love. Like you have the love that you have now because you are worthy of it. Um, People see your potential. People see what they see in you and they love you for you, right? But if you want more, if you want greater, and remembering that you can't always get more and greater from specific people, right? You can't say, I want this person to be my romantic partner. I want to get out of the friend zone and be in a romantic. You can't do that. It's just, I'm not saying that you can't, but just there's no forcing that. And like I said, when you force something like that, you actually get further away. It just continues to cement boundaries and restrictions and like, whoa, okay, hold on, right? Um, so what we're trying to learn here is a newer flow, a higher level frequency that you can still reach in order to attain more of what you want to see, more of what you want these relationships to look like, and to attract new relationships that would fit that better than someone else can currently not give you. Someone else might be willing to. So we also want to be open to new relationships rather than being stuck on the ones that we have. We can appreciate the ones that we have, they are blessings, but we cannot force a specific relationship to behave in the way that we want it to. We can be open to having the relationship change. We can express our desires for the relationship to change, but that's as far as it goes. At that point, it's a two-way street. And if one person is not giving you what you want, maybe another person will give you what you want, but you have to be open to that. Okay? I think this is what you have been learning throughout 2023. Let's talk about career in 2023 for Virgo. We have psychic abilities. Okay. Well, you're certainly very in tune with your professional life. You have a very good handle on it, right? You see through things very easily. You are thinking several steps ahead. You're predicting. You're intuitive. You have, it's almost like you have a sixth sense for seeing what's about to go, what could go wrong, right? And it makes you feel strong and capable. Let's clarify with some tarot. Three cards for career and psychic abilities. Now, the most literal translation of this, sorry, I have cards flying now. The most literal translation of this is like, oh, well, I have a career in being a tarot reader. Well, right, but we're not going down that road. Maybe you do, in which case, take this message how it resonates, right? But what I'm seeing more so is just you are good at what you do, regardless of whether it is mystical in nature or not, right? Most people do not have mystical jobs, and that's okay. We have the Hanging Man. This is the one that fell on the floor. Then I've got the Ten of Swords in reverse. I've been getting the Ten of Swords in reverse a lot, like for lots of readings, for these 2024 readings. And this card in particular represents a hard ending, like a difficult ending that you're just starting to come out of, that you're regenerating from, right? And I just need one more card, and that is the Seven of Wands. Some defensive energy here. Well, with the Hangman, we are stalled. We're in suspension, basically. Something here has been in suspension. We're recovering from something. There's something that's rejuvenating right now. And I think that you're seeing it very clearly. Again, I'm going to bring up the psychic abilities with this third eye. You're seeing something very clearly. And in the process, it just feels like you're holding out. You're keeping this Seven of Wands this is about boundaries and defensiveness. It's about trying to just hold your ground, basically, in something. So I don't know what went down in your career, right? But there has been I'm sensing like a series of difficulties that have occurred that have left you in a state of I want to say disarray, but it's been it's like an emotional disarray. I think there is a feeling, it's a feeling of not letting more things get to you, trying to find a new perspective, a new way of looking at things that addresses a lot of the hard lessons that you've learned throughout your career, while simultaneously defending your reputation, simultaneously defending your standing um, and your authority. You've been adept at it. Um, you've been handling these difficulties with a lot of strength of character and with, again, a seeming almost like a supernatural sense, right? It's a certain level of um what is the word I'm looking for? Insight. You have an insight that is allowing you to stay in control at a time when things are not quite as in control, right? Because we're still in a process now of coming out of a difficult situation, challenges, um, delays, holding out because you know that you want to hold out. You need to hold out. Hmm. Talk about prosperity in 2023. Perspective for Virgo. Prosperity, we have commitment. So yeah, this is an understanding that you can't do it all alone, right? You can't do it alone. And it's important to have people at your side who are just as in it as you are. A theme that I'm really getting from all of this so far is balancing an equal give and take, where your vision aligns with someone else's vision. When those two visions align, you hold each other accountable and you encourage each other and you plan with each other to bring something about that feels abundant and prosperous, right? So this could be not just financial, but we could be talking about assets like home, car, etc. But we could also be talking about being able to garden, like finding the time to garden, working together to garden, and then now you have an abundant and prosperous garden that gives you fruits and spices and stuff like that, flowers. And I say this as a more of a metaphor, although it could literally be gardening for you. Gardening is a lovely hobby, so. But what I'm trying to get at is that it's energy that's being put in by more than one person yields more in return. Similar to what I saw for love, you can't force people to commit to something they don't want to commit to, or on the level that you want them to commit to it. You can't force that. You can say what you're thinking and desiring, you can encourage, but you can't force. For commitment, we have the Empress, the Priestess, and the Page of Cups in reverse. Actually, hold on. Whoa, okay, hold on. King of Coins came out here in the reverse as well. I felt like something else was trying to be said. This is some big energy, right? Empress and Priestess. These are the most divine feminine energies in the deck. This is physical abundance and fertility, care, nurturing, the mother leaf kind of figure. And then the high priestess would be the intuitive, knowing, it's that higher level kind of spiritual energy that has an understanding of the cycles of life and emotions and love and relationships. You very clearly know your commitments. But then we have this energy. Page of Cups and King of Coins, both in reverse, which speaks to irresponsibility, immaturity, bad investment, basically. This is the energy of the people that you can't commit to. And when you're feeling this energy, definitely is not something that you're going to commit to, because instead, you need to know, it needs to feel right, and it needs to yield results. Both have to be true. If it feels right, but it doesn't yield results, it deals this crap, this king of coins in reverse, then your feeling is irrelevant. Your feeling is misguided. Who cares? Now we're just talking about the potential, right? Potential is there. That's neat, but what are you going to do with potential? You need results. But simultaneously, you can get results, but if it doesn't feel right, in other words, if the results come at a certain cost that don't settle well with you, right? Then is that can't be this, that's not as satisfying. It's not as how do I put this? It's just it's unsettling. It's an unsettling energy. And you don't want to make commitments to people that you don't feel good around, you know? They might yield result, like, right, it's kind of like the age old story, right? Yeah, this person is an absolute piece of shit, but man, do they put out good work. They yield results, but dealing with them is so unpleasant that it's like, why is this even worth it? Why can't someone, if they can yield these results, somebody else can handle this person. I don't want to. I don't want to work with this person anymore. And that's okay. It's like, I don't want to commit to this person because I just don't like how they fucking treat me. So it's a very good understanding of where your loyalties best lie in order to have this feeling of prosperous abundance and of having the best possible commitments, the ones that are actually good for you and for the other person. Okay, let's talk about 2023 retrospective, new beginnings, passion. This definitely feels like a getting your groove back vibe. Um, I think you've been kind of stuck in the weeds, especially in regards to your career. You've been stuck in the weeds. In love life, also, love has been kind of like a little bit of a disillusionment that's happening here, right? So between a disillusionment in love life, stress in your career, and a reevaluation of your commitments, you're really starting to pay attention to a more fiery side inside of you that's telling you to start um, feeding some fires, you know, paying attention to what's lighting you up inside in the moment. This is very living in the moment kind of energy rather than reacting to things. Planning things out too far in advance is also something that I'm seeing kind of like, no, what I want is just the instant spark of inspiration. I want something that's going to drive me forward in the moment rather than because I've set a plan in motion a few years ago, right, with this person or these people. I've set this plan in motion, and I'm here churning the wheel, but everybody is just bored of doing the work, and it all has fallen on me, and now I'm left holding the bag, and it doesn't feel great, and I just want to live for me because everyone else is living for themselves in this process. Where's mine? Where's my new beginning? Where's my passion? Nine of Wands in reverse. Yeah. Emperor. So you have the Emperor and the Empress out. That's neat. And the King of Cups. These are really big energies here. These are very big boss energies. So definitely very, I will say this, like for as disillusioned as this reading has come across, what I will say is that you are still coming across as very, very responsible and measured and thoughtful, which is not surprising for a Virgo, right? But here in passion, I think we're burned out. This is what this Nine of Wands is talking about. Burnout leading to being like, you know what? We need to relight some fires. If the fires have burned out, we're gonna find the next fire. We're gonna relight. We're gonna rekindle, and we're gonna remake ourselves into something much stronger and more stable. Something that feels emotionally fulfilling and correct. Okay, something that makes you feel emotionally balanced, something that feels like I am giving to this and it is giving me back the feelings that I need to feel in order to continue, in order to just continue, in order to thrive, in order to lead, in order to take charge of my life. This feels like taking charge of your wants, starting things that are more in line with what you want to see for yourself. So that's great. I hope that that's been going on for you in 2023. Talk about love in 2024. Family. So remember, in 2023, we were dealing with energies of I can't force anyone to love me the way that I wish to be loved, but I can appreciate them for the love that they currently do give me. It's just a shame because I see the potential and I don't quite know how to obtain that. These three cards just like landed in a certain way. They just all came together. So I'm just going to take them. We have the Fool, the Ace of Coins, and the Four of Coins in reverse. We're definitely talking new beginnings. The Fool is all about new beginnings. The Ace of Coins, same thing, new beginnings, opportunities. And Four of Coins is about greed and stinginess and selfishness. So it's interesting. And with family, see if I can understand this energy a little bit. I think you're looking for a way to reinvent yourself in some way. I see you looking at things like family and legacy, right? Um, I see you looking at things like your parents, your children, if you have any, um, siblings, if you have any, relatives, and partners and spouses. You're looking at this interplay. And it feels very much like you are trying to create a new opportunity for yourself by reinventing yourself. It goes back to what I had said about your 2023, where you are recognizing that you have to put in something new and different in order to get something new and different back that's more in line with what you see the potential of beings of this relationship being. So it's like that's the thing that you're not letting go of. You're not letting go of this vision that you have for certain relationships, and you are changing your actions and your behaviors and your, I hope you're not going too far in changing who you are as a person, because you shouldn't have to change yourself for anyone, um unless of course you want to change yourself for the betterment of your relationship. Okay. And so when I say that, it means you improve it. So, okay. If you have a certain behavioral pattern that can be considered toxic, or let's just say dysfunctional, right? Um, you have to want to make that, you have to want to, first you have to recognize that that is a thing that you do, and you have to want to make that change for yourself because you know that it's going to better your relationships. You should not be doing it if someone tells you you need to change or else. um and you can certainly take that into consideration if someone tells you that, though that's an ultimatum. That's kind of gross. But what I do think is, if you genuinely believe that it would do your relationship a whole world more of a favor if you were to drop a certain way of being and instead approach the relationship in a brand new way, um see what comes of it. See if an opportunity exists. See if something gets extended to you. Something, and when I say an opportunity, we're looking at something that has a little more of a material value or an energetic value. So something a little more in the 3D space. So maybe a home improvement project is coming in here, or a business opportunity, or a loan. I don't know. Just see what comes of it. See what comes of you know, the saying goes, there's a saying that many people know, is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So your advice for 2024 is do new and different things around the people that think they have you pegged, who have you in a place of like, who think that you're predictable, your responses are predictable. And I'm not saying to be unpredictable to a point where you are causing a problem, and being toxic, but what I am suggesting is approach approach the people that you love in newer, better ways, in the ways that you would like to um, see from them, or in a way, it's like modeling the behavior that you want to get in return, or just changing the mood entirely between someone, right? Like if you've been fighting with someone for a long time, or like things have been tense and awkward, try something that'll alleviate that. How would you do that? How would you go about that? I can't give you advice on that. You would know. These are your relationships, but um this is definitely suggesting that you can either hold on to something so tightly that it just never gets resolved, or you can let it go and try to start fresh from a blank slate. Which one is probably going to yield you the results that you're looking for? Little question for you to chew on there. Career in 2024. So previously we were talking about holding on tight. Now we have beauty. You should be proud of yourself and the work that you have done so far in your career, and how adept you are at it, how much resilience you have shown, how much patience you have shown. You should be proud of yourself, right? Um, and I think that you can take pride in that, regardless of where you decide to move next. I got 3 tarot cards here for beauty. We have Queen of Cups. I've been also been getting the Queen of Cups a lot in these readings. The Chariot. Okay. And the Nine of Cups in reverse. I feel like you're so used to reserving your emotions and keeping things to yourself, um, in your career space, that it makes you, it puts you on a path of um, disconnectedness from others, while having a pride and self assuredness in your growth in this career path. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is like, you're doing a good job for you, right? You're doing what is asked of you. You're excelling at it, and it feels um, like you're going to keep moving forward and achieve and achieve and achieve and achieve. But there seems to be this discontentment that's underlying all of it with this reverse Nine of Cups. That like you could be propelling yourself through this career, um, in a way where you can be you look at yourself and you're proud of what you've achieved because it looks good and it feels good to have achieved it. but you're left with this lingering. It's like there's a broken wheel on this chariot. The chariot is representative of moving quickly in a specific direction. So in a career place, we're talking this is good, fast, steady. It's career growth, it's advancement. Like it's good, but I think we need to be going a little layer deeper here and understanding what's actually the source of your discontent in this specific situation. How do you escape this feeling? Because even though you might be succeeding, right? You might be doing the rat race, leading the rat race, right? Um, are you is it time for a change for you? A change on some level. I don't want you to be stuck on a career path and trajectory and just stay within the lines as you get there. And I say I don't want you to do that because I think the further that you get down this path, the more that you are starting to feel like maybe this isn't the path for me, but I've already set off on this path and I'm going to see it through. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you are entitled to do. I'm certainly not going to tell you no. But pay attention to your emotions during this time, during this process. Because I think that you are smart enough, emotionally intelligent enough, rather, for yourself to know what's working for you and what isn't. And to be able to hone it, to like pinpoint exactly what areas are up for improvement. Let's talk about prosperity in 2023. So 2024. Prosperity in 2024. Going off of this wonderful commitment energy, we have protection. And this is very Empress. So this is going off again, your Empress Priestess energy here. You know, we've gone from a feeling of mothering, nurturing, right? You have a certain way of your commitments that feels very mother duck. That not even just mother duck though. It's not like you're doting on anybody, but it feels more it just feels motherly. It feels like again, you're gathering your people, you're the commitments, right? And you're holding them tight and you're keeping, but you're also letting them fly and you're doing like you're a home base, right? For protection, I drew these cards together by accident. We have the Knight of Swords and the Lovers, as well as the Eight of Wands in reverse. This is interesting, right? So Knight of Swords and the Eight of Wands. These are two, sorry, hard to tell with this camera. Okay. These two are some of the fastest moving energies in the deck. The next one would be the Chariot. The fastest is the Chariot. These are the next fastest moving energies. And we have the Lovers in the center of them, right? Which signify a certain harmony. So we are harmonizing, okay, the need to speak and act swiftly with obstacles, frustrations, miscommunications, we're learning how to recognize um, what the interplay is between these. We recognize that obstacles in our lives happen. We recognize that not everything is ideal, right? We're not always dealing with the best. We have not always been dealt the best poker hand, right? And then, but what do you do with that is what counts. And how do we work together to solve and overcome obstacles? Because whatever you are building for your prosperity, you are protecting. You're protecting it, and you have a place in this that is very wise. I look back at that Empress and Priestess. I mean, it is just a very wise place. And it's a smart. It's smart, it's emotionally intelligent. It it is both the responsibilities and authority and hard work of the emperor with the nurturing and um, the 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 patience and the love that come from an empress. Okay, I feel like you are doing this basically almost all on your own. You're learning to harmonize with difficult energies. Because at the end of the day, difficult energies, you're not allowing them, and nor should you allow them to affect your prosperity and your good mood and your goodwill and your reputation, your standing. Everything that you've built for yourself is yours, and it's yours for a reason. And anybody that wants to call that into question, who wants to undermine you, flick them off or deal with them appropriately, however it is, right? Because you have to learn how to harmonize with energies that you're stuck around, or harmonize with energies that you um, have to just deal with for temporarily or for a long time, right? I mean, every relationship, every commitment is different. There's a difference between coworker versus a friend versus an acquaintance versus a sibling and a parent and a child, right? There's different layers of, there's different levels of responsibility that we have to all of these relationships. But first and foremost is the relationship with yourself and everything that you've created for yourself. That's yours. 2024, new beginnings. Oh, this card just slid out. Answers. Yeah. You know, we were talking about getting your groove back in 2023. These are the new beginnings that you're trying to see for yourself. You're trying to live a more um, authentically yourself boss life. It's like, yeah, I want to be the bitch in charge, but I want it to be done in a way that makes me feel good about myself and about the people that I work with. I want it to feed me. I want the fact that I am in this position was not by accident. It was something that I merited, that I belong in, that I excel at, that people look up to me for. this is the kind of high level energy pride that you want to feel in your life's work. Not just, and when I say life's work, that's career, it's love, it's home, it's family, it's all of it. It's well-being, it's adventure. I think you're finally starting to see the difference. You can really start seeing the difference when you lead from a place like that inside of you. You can see the difference. You'll get these answers back to you. We've been talking a lot about reciprocity here. When you give differently, you will receive differently, and what you receive differently is it's an answer from the universe in a way. And you start seeing like, whoa, okay, this is actually benefiting me. This is actually good. It's different. It's new. It's fresh, and it's better. Or maybe it's worse, right? And then you realize, okay, let me not do that anymore. Let me adjust. But you're learning from it. So we have King of Wands, big picture, vision, leadership. Lots of king energy here in your new beginnings, right? You have Emperor, which embodies all of the kings. And then we have King of Cups, King of Wands. Here's Queen of Swords in reverse. And Five of Coins in reverse. The Queen of Swords in reverse is very mean and difficult, harsh energy. It's just truths being spat out, whether you like it or not. And with answers, you're probably going to come across some people that are not going to like they're not going to like you. This is a matter now of, as you shift directions, as you embody a new higher level version of yourself, the person that you've always wanted to be, that leads from that place of alignment, you start finding who's actually here for you and who isn't, right? And it's going to be very easy to know that, because there's going to be people that are going to push you away, and then there's going to be people that are going to welcome you in. And this is where we start going back and forth with, we're shifting timelines. We are moving into a reassessment phase, but from a place of, it comes from a place of power. It comes from a place of, you're sitting in your throne, so to speak, right? Figuratively. And you are shifting the pieces around in the most strategic, optimal way, whilst doing diplomacy work, whilst also doing practical boots on the ground work, while doing yes, your relationship building. You are also physically doing the work. You are also doing the things that light you up inside, that bring you the passion and the drive to give yourself this. But again, you have a lot of relationships that I'm seeing in a lot of situations that are in a state of mediocrity, for lack of a better word. And that's probably a very harsh word to use, Queen of Swords. It's a very harsh word to use. Let's not say mediocrity. At worst, middling, mediocre, maybe completely unsatisfying, right? At worst. But what we're trying to get at is, it's not a fulfilled potential. You have a lot of things here that are not quite where they promised they would be or where you thought they would be. And so we're tweaking all of these things. And so that means that there's going to be some things that are going to be cycled out while you have new things cycled in. And I want you to be open to these opportunities. I want to go back to love and the Fool, Ace of Coins vibe here. Be open to new opportunities, be open to reconnection, be open to and also be open to letting people go. And the advice here that I'm also seeing is we're letting people go, but we're letting people go in a gentle, c'est la vie kind of way, right? Like that's just life. I'm not really engaging with you anymore because I don't want to. We're slowing down communication with some people and speeding up communications with others. You know, I go back to this prosperity protection. Speeding up communication with some, slowing down connections with others. And this is where true harmony with your relationships start to form. Because we're not giving energy to things that don't feed us back, that are not reciprocal. Finding a new soul tribe. You know, as you make changes, your internal, your external world is going to mirror changes back at you that are more in alignment with what you see for yourself, what you want to create for yourself. Let's get a final piece of advice from the Cosmic Journey Oracle. And this is the card that jumped out. Your effortless effort is fully required. That seems very in line with what we've been talking about. Your effortless effort is fully required. What does that mean? Let's read the entry. Huh? It's a complete paradox, right? How can you provide your effortless effort? As you play with the cosmic concepts you encounter in this oracle, you'll start to develop a sense of when to push and when to just allow. What are we even talking about? There's a dance of action and surrendering, of doing and being. By putting your full heart and 100% effort into something, you actually win. Putting in the work, if it's from a true place of meaning, is itself your reward. It's only the attachment to results that creates disappointment, frustration, depression, etc. Think about it. When you have expectations and they aren't met, you're upset, right? And if you're waiting on outside praise or recognition, you're always beholden to it. By having no attachment, you are free. Your full, effortless effort is also required because we're all in this together. What is called for now is a solution. What is called for now is a solution for everyone, every sentient being, every stakeholder on the planet. A question for you to meditate on, journal about. When is the last time I have felt in a state of flow and effortless effort? And an action to help you manifest. For the next 24 hours, put your full effortless effort into one project and record what happens. Virgo, this is a reading about flow. This is a reading about clear vision aligned with the highest version of yourself, right? the one that makes you feel powerful, capable, responsible, loving, beautiful, passionate. Never forget that passion, because that's what's that passion is effortless effort. It's a fire that exists. It's a fire that grows. And fire is all it takes. It doesn't take much for it to continue burning. So interesting. You know, now that I look at this card, the this wallet that says effortless effort has these like little credit cards here, and I see the words joy, mastery, and vision. I can't quite tell what this is though. All right, Virgo. If this resonated, please like, share, subscribe, and absolutely comment. I would love to hear how this has resonated for you. And yeah, thank you so much for letting me be a part of this reading. I hope that this helped. I hope it did something. And until the next time, take care. Happy holidays. Thank you for being a part of this wondrous cosmic brew, and have a wonderful 2023 new year into 2024. Bye.